What's up, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Priest Bay Area Metal Spotlight. And this one might come to a surprise for some of you. In 1991, when this album came out that I'm going to be talking about, funk thrash was taking over the Bay Area scene like something fierce. You couldn't believe it. Every time you went to the Stone or the Omni, at least two of the opening bands on whatever bill were funk thrash bands, and bands that were thrash bands before, like pre-existing thrash bands, all of a sudden incorporated this funk sound into their music, like seemingly overnight. I'm not quite sure. Well, I think it was Faith No More that really led the charge in the Bay Area for bands to start getting funky. And I gotta tell you, I was not a fan of that whole scene. And so that's why it really doesn't make any sense why this album I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorite Bay Area music releases of all time. This might be in my top 5. I'm not just talking metal, but any albums that's come out of the Bay Area, even like Montrose or whatever. I would have to say that Mordred's In This Life is probably in my top 5 favorite Bay Area albums. And it was not an easy sell either. I was kicking and screaming, admitting that I finally liked this album. I remember Ted Aguilar bought this record. He actually bought the cassette, and we were listening to it in his mom's car. And I was putting on the front that, no man, no way, I'm not going to accept this funk thrash stuff. But inside, secretly, I was gushing on how much I love this record and how brilliant and amazing it is on every fucking level. This album is just beautiful music, and it's incredible. So it didn't win me over to funk thrash. I didn't start listening to all the other bands that were hip at the time doing that sound, but I sure as fuck love this album, and I can't really explain why this is so different than the rest, but it is. And Mordred are just a wonderful, talented, just creative band that's just no boundaries, and everything they do pretty much rules. And the funny thing is, their previous album, their debut, Fool's Game, was pretty much straight up thrash. There was a couple of funky songs on there, but it seemed like it was more of a novelty. And then with this album, they just fully embraced it, and it became a major part of their sound on every single song, not just a couple of songs here or there. But to be quite honest, I didn't really care for the first Mordred album when they were full-on thrash. I didn't think it was bad, but it just didn't really speak to me, and it didn't stand out to any other of the thrash albums coming out at the time. It didn't seem really that special to me. And then, lo and behold, when they put out their funk thrash masterpiece, that's when I became a full-fledged Mordred fan. And I mean, the production's incredible, the performances, like I said, and just really just beautiful music and beautiful guitar harmonies. Jim Sanguinetti and Danny White, their guitar interplay is amazing throughout the album. And I have to say that DJ Paz is the unsung hero on this record, and in Mordred in general. I'm not going to claim to be some hip-hop guy. I don't listen to much hip-hop or rap. But when he does his songs live, that's the highlight of a Mordred set. When he takes the mic and starts rapping, he has great flow. His voice is beautiful. It just sounds great to my ears. And I enjoy when he takes the spotlight. And his DJing skills are incredible. The stuff he does in this album adds so much to the music. A lot of times when I hear a DJ over rock music, I want to smash my stereo. It usually this takes away, or it's kind of an annoyance, but never the case with DJ Paz and with Mordred. A lot of his samples and the stuff he does makes me laugh. It actually adds a humorous aspect to some of the parts of the songs. But overall, it's just always great. It's never a hindrance, and adds so much to the music. And Mordred are still a kick-ass band. They put out a great record a year or two ago called The Dark Parade, and their current lineup is kicking ass, and I'm glad they're still around, or back together, I should say. So go figure, man. A funk thrash album is one of my top-tier records of all time in the Bay Area. check out In This Life, and like I can't explain it, why it's so good and why it speaks to me so much, but it really does, and it's masterful music. It's awesome.